Hello, learners and leaders and grown-ups. We are going to make some Play-Doh today. This is my very favorite homemade Play-Doh recipe. So easy, so quick. It's easy to customize. It's easy to just whip up in an afternoon. Super, super easy. If you are a fan of Play-Doh like I am, Play-Doh is great for play-based learning. It does fine motor control. It does engineering skills. It can be part of a great sensory bin. Huge fan of Play-Doh. If you are a fan of Play-Doh like I am, check out my ebook. It has this base recipe and instructions, plus it has 20 different customizable or customization ideas. So something for, just about every week of the year, or every week of the school year, certainly. Today we're going to be making, Today we're going to be making some money-based Play-Doh, or some money Play-Doh, because we're still kind of working on Alexander. We're talking about Alexander, who used to be rich last Sunday, and his money that disappeared. So we are going to make green Play-Doh with kind of a peppermint scent. Let's talk about what our ingredients are here. We have 2 cups of flour, just regular all-purpose flour, nothing special needed. 1 cup of salt. We're going to put in 2 tablespoons cream of tartar, and you can just get this in the baking aisle. Pretty common. We also have 2 tablespoons of oil, and I just used canola oil. You can also use vegetable oil. You can use olive oil, but it gives it a little bit of a scent, a little bit of an olive oily scent. And then 2 cups of boiling water. And that's what you need for just the base recipe. Every Play-Doh recipe, or every Play-Doh recipe that I have, involves these ingredients, and then you customize from there. For today's customization, we're going to put in some green food coloring. I like to use green because we're talking about money. This is liquid food coloring. You can also use gel food coloring, or you can use tempera paint if you want. I just know that when I use the food coloring, it's definitely non-toxic. If it gets eaten, basically anything on this table is edible, minus the glitter that we're going to add to it. I'm not a huge fan of glitter, and I try to avoid it in my craft projects because I find it gets everywhere, but I'm willing to take the risk for this Play-Doh just to add a little bit of sparkle to it. And then finally, I'm going to add some peppermint essential oil to it just to give it a scent. This is kind of a less expensive essential oil. I'm certainly not going to use super expensive or super high quality essential oil on it because we're not using it therapeutically. We're really just using it to give some scent, and we're going to use it to engage another sense. So we're going to have the sense of touch, sense of scent, sense of sight. Those are 3 that we're going to use right there. So that scent adds to that. All right, let's get started. Let's get started on our Play-Doh. The first thing we're going to do is mix our dry ingredients together. So we're going to go ahead and put in that 2 cups of flour. Again, that's just plain old all-purpose flour. We're going to add in a cup of salt. Same thing, just plain old regular salt. The one with the little girl on the front cover is fine. Then we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of cream of tartar. And guys, this isn't like, we're not doing brain surgery here, so it can be, oh. You can do roughing it, roughly that much. Okay, we're going to mix those together, get our dry ingredients pretty homogeneous. And then we're going to turn the oven on. We're going to go medium heat. And we're going to gradually mix in our boiling water. You can see the steam rising off of that maybe. Get that stuff boiling. Keep mixing that and add in the oil. Give that a good mix up. You can see how there are some chunks in there. we want to mix those all out. And there's some spots where it's still dry. Get that nice and smooth. What you can do, if yours is really chunky, is get a whisk when you're first starting to mix it and whisk it all together. Now see how this is kind of forming up into a paste? It's gonna form into a ball, and that's when we'll pull it off. While we're waiting for this to form into a ball, let's add our mix-ins in. So again, here's that green food coloring. Mine is drops. You can also use gel. And I'm gonna put a pretty decent amount in there. I am also gonna put in 1 dropper of peppermint. And you know what? Just for the heck of it, let's put in a 2nd dropper. Again, it's not precision crafting. See how already, just in the amount of time it took me to mix in or to add in those customizers, it's already getting more and more solid. Did you know that Play-Doh was originally invented in the 30s as a wallpaper cleaner? The guy who invented it envisioned that housewives would slide Play-Doh all over their wallpaper and clean it up. And then teachers found the substance and started using it as a sculpting method for their kids. So look, teachers, changing the world, introducing Play-Doh to us as a toy. All right, see how that's really coming together? And the color is pretty kind of variegated, not super smooth. That's okay because we're gonna need this. And when we need it, the color will smooth itself out a little bit. You guys obviously can't smell this, but holy peppermint smell. Now I know I haven't put the glitter in yet. I'm gonna put the glitter in when we need it. This is exactly the consistency we're looking for when we stop cooking it. So we're gonna take that off the heat and let it sit. We're gonna let it sit for at least a half an hour. For something about this mixture really traps heat. And even when you think it's cool to the touch, there are little hot pockets in there and you can burn the heck out of yourself. Ask me how I know. All right, so we waited our time. Play-Doh is still warm, but it's not like gonna burn me, which again, it gets some hot pockets in there for sure. And you can see we still have some streaks of green. I don't see any, but there can be just like a little cream color there. So we just need to knead it a little bit more. We're also gonna mix in our glitter. So I just have some gold glitter just to give it a little bit of shine. I'm gonna put in a decent chunk. Scrooge McDuck's coins in there, huh? And we're just gonna get in and knead it and just get it all so that it's a consistent, pick up that extra glitter, so that it's a consistent color, consistent texture, which the texture should be pretty consistent anyway, but get that glitter kind of spread through there. You can see I have glitter already on my tablecloth. I'm going to be finding glitter for months. And that's it. You just mix it, mix it, mix it. And then you're going to end up with Play-Doh just like this. Looks just like regular Play-Doh, smells heavenly. You obviously can't smell it, but whew, my son came in and he said, whew, that Play-Doh smells good. Smells great, has a little bit of a sparkle, a little bit of a shine. Perfect for your learners and leaders.